Right. A very good evening to everyone, and a very warm welcome to this learning session, which is about holistic well-being matters. Today we have a great speaker, who happens to be Rajesh Munjalji, the founder and CEO of mHealth. Before we proceed on to the this learning session, I would like to formally invite our Chairman of the NIPM Delhi NCR chapter, Shri Mukesh Kumar Jain sir, to kindly deliver the welcome address for the gathering. Over to you, Mukesh sir. Namaskar.
Thank you, Yashwant. Namaskar and good evening, friends. I, on behalf of Executive Committee of NIPM Delhi NCR chapter, just a second, welcome you all to this very important and interesting session on holistic well-being matters by Shri Rajesh Munjal, founder and CEO mHealth. I welcome Shri Rajesh Munjal, who will speak on today's topic. Friends, as you are aware, the National Institute of Personnel Management is the apex body, national body of professional managers engaged in the profession of human resource management, industrial relation, labor welfare, training and development, etc. NIPM came into existence on 15th March 1980 as a result of the merger of two professional institutions, namely the Indian Institute of Personnel Management, IIPM, established in 1948 at Calcutta, and the National Institute of Labor Management, NILM, established in 1915 Mumbai. With its national office at Calcutta, NIPM has a total membership of more than 10,000, which is spread over 53 chapters. NIPM is offering 50% discount in its life membership fee till 31st December 2021. You can become life member if you are not by paying only 6,000. Please log in to nipm.in for registration. We are delighted to inform you that the National Institute of Personnel Management Delhi NCR chapter has launched its very special initiative LEAP in October 2021. And today we are having its second event under LEAP. Keeping in view of the fact that LEAP is an initiative with a vision to celebrate leadership, empowerment, agility, people LEAP, our goal is to bring together eminent speakers, experts across functions on a diverse range of areas within the overall theme of future of HR to foster learning, development, inspiration, leadership, capability and capacity building, and conversation with the matters the most. Today we are going to have an interesting conversation on a very relevant theme of holistic well-being matters, which is essentially about understanding the significance and importance of holistic well-being for individuals, organizations to ensure and we remain healthy, happy, efficient, and effective. I once again welcome our past national presidents and chapter chairmen, our veterans and seniors, our fellow members and students. I wish you all a great evening and wonderful year ahead. Namaskar. Over to Alok ji. Alok ji, please.
Good evening, sir. Thank you. It is a pleasure to introduce Mr. Yashwant Chauhan, Senior Manager, Group Corporate HR, Policy and Employee Relation at GAIL. He is Honorary Secretary and Director LEAP, NIPM Delhi NCR Chapter, and Management Committee Member, ISTD Delhi Chapter. Mr. Yashwant is passionate business and people leadership professional with more than 12 years of impactful group corporate experience in energy, oil, and gas sector. He's an avid learner, speaker, thinker, strategic enabler, youth mentor and capability builder, people and policy advocator, sustainability, diversity, inclusion, equity and belongingness enthusiast, a collaborator, social influencer, and India's top 100 under 40 future HR leader. He's a co-opted management committee member and conceptualizer, coordinator, Young Leader Series at ISTD Delhi chapter. He had shared thoughts at prestigious platforms like Standing Conference of Public Enterprises Scope, Director HR Summit, Oil and Gas CPSEs held at IIM Indore, TISS Mumbai, IIM Vishakhapatnam, IIM Kashipur, Nagpur, Rohtak, Amritsar, Sambalpur, SIBM, SCMHRD Pune, GIM Panaji, ISTD, IIT Kharagpur, Indian Society for Training and Development, and NIPM. Is a successful experience of delivering on the strategic expectations of multiple critical stakeholders while working on significant and diverse issues. He's a member, Group Corporate COVID Task Force, member, Group Corporate COVID Pandemic Management Teams, member, Cross Industry Future of Work Group, member, All India Management Association Young Leader Council, a professionally associated with leading national global forums like ISTD, NIPM, NHRDN, Society of Human Resource Management, Hacking HR, etc. Thank you, and please welcome Mr. Yashwant Chauhan. Over to Mr. Chauhan.
Well, thank you so much, Alokji, for that very detailed one. Just a family, thanks so much. I think the today's session is all about our esteemed speaker for the day, who happens to be Rajesh Munjalji, who is the founder and CEO of mHealth. Can we have the introduction slide for him? Yes. So Rajesh sir, he's I now have the great privilege to introduce him to the August gathering. He is the VCOM MCA and project management certified professional from Astrovic USA. He is a postgraduate in business management, and he has also done management development program in strategy and implementation from IIM Ahmedabad. A very seasoned professional with 21 years of experience across various organizations. He was working with East India Fintechs, where he was involved with the network management, application development, infrastructure management, and at SIGPA India, into the domains of the ERP implementation, project management, infrastructure development, and so on, right? Even at Chauhan, destination management company, he was handling the complete gamut of business applications for the organization. He was very instrumental in implementing the ERP and the Salesforce automation along with web-based applications in Chauhan. Thereafter, he went on to work with Cars on Rent India, where he was driving technology enablement initiatives. He has also, worked towards reducing the people dependency and improving on cycle times. He has been instrumental in turning around the existing businesses and improve customer experience, apart from expanding the business in tier 2 and tier 3 cities. He was also involved with the P&L and expansion for car and driver business of the company. Some of the other brands includes Easy Lab, corporate rentals, airports, limousine, retail, local and outstation, and on-demand employee transportation. Mr. Rajesh Munjal sir, for his deep knowledge and expertise and contributions, he has been awarded by Leaders Master 2015 as the COO of the Year. And this award was jointly organized by 24 MRC and IBM 7 in Delhi. So as I mentioned earlier, that he started his venture in 2020, with mHealth. He's currently the founder and the CEO of mHealth, which is primarily AI-based, artificial intelligence-based corporate wellness platform to spread happiness and well-being. mHealth provides customized solutions through its state-of-the-art wellness platform, organized physical and virtual fitness and engagement like Stepathon Challenge, yoga, Zumba classes, aerobics, dietary consultation, emotional wellness workshops and sessions, wellness camps, HRA, doctor consultation, hobby groups, and fun activities to engage all the age groups. A very warm welcome to you, Rajesh Munjalji. Thank you so much for accepting our invite and making your kind presence for this August gathering. Over to you for now, sharing your initial thoughts on the subject, which is about the holistic well-being person. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Yashwantji. Thank you so much, NIPM team, for giving me an opportunity to come here and talk about this emotional well-being. I think this is something, basically a topic which is very, very close to my heart. And having worked with the corporate sector for more than 21 years and being into different roles in technology as well as business, managing a team size of more than 8,000 plus members, which includes at all level. One thing we have understood, and that's where the passion, which is basically brings me into something called healthcare or well-being, which we talked about. We are always focusing on one thing, basically in the corporate life for years and years, is about the numbers, right? It is not about our weight number. It is not about size or anything. It's all about the numbers of the organizational growth and other things. I think that is what we have been always focusing about. And for last 20 years, I also did that. It is not, I'm not no one different, basically. But I found very, very challenging time and everybody found, basically not only me, in 2020 when we had this corona virus came in, right? And I'll just take a few minutes to brief you about that. How did I started this journey? What all have been doing it, and probably will then we'll take it to the basically that in case we'll have some question answer or something. So what we call it as today as a holistic well-being, right? So as I said that I started my journey in 1995, wherein I was started as a tech guy, moved into business role in year 2000 and I think 14 or 15 or so. When that I moved into business roles, moved through various roles, being an operation head, then becoming a CEO for the company and managing the entire business for the organization. And in all those years, what we have understood is that we employ the person is like a machine, right? He is on the treadmill, and where in the treadmill you have everything is controlled by somebody else, right? You are always on that treadmill and running around. I don't know what to achieve what, right? And health is the last priority for a corporate employee. And when I started this in 2020 when the coronavirus came in, then all realized the value of health. Everybody realized, including me, also realized the value of health, basically. And everybody started talking about one word, which is called immunity, right? And immunity, we wanted to build it over a period of overnight, probably. That okay, we should have some immunization system, something basically should give us that strength that corona should not touch us, right? So that's something basically which everybody of us were looking for. That's actually drive me towards this business called healthcare, which we are wherein that we started that, and we said that what is this health? What is this health? Health is about the 5 factor of the holistic well-being. We are all talking about one factor, basically, which is always a physical health. We are always doing one thing, basically, which is and that is also a learning for me. Honestly, it is not something basically it's come like overnight, but yes, I took almost 6 to 9 months basically to understand that how to build that ecosystem where the corporate employees or primarily the human being are going through, and what all can be done to make sure that you can become a healthy person. As everybody, I was also going through that cycle of taking 5,000 steps, 7,000 steps, and then 10,000 steps, basically reaching out to this. And you are closing, maybe I was not able to walk maybe 3 kilometers to 5 kilometers. Then I started walking around 10 kilometers. But is that something which is basically which was enough? Probably not. Wherein you realize that okay, this is about physical health, right? So they when that okay, you're able to do certain things which you have to have the complete ecosystem, right? Where we all talk about health also has an ecosystem. When do we take care of this health? And we take care of health only and only when we have some issue, some medical condition, some maybe lifestyle disease, maybe hypertension, maybe cholesterol high, or maybe diabetes, or maybe we would like to control weight and all, right? That's where we take care of this. Wherein the second connection comes in about this mental health with social connects, right? Spiritual thing. And next is the financial well-being, because COVID has also taught us that financial well-being is also very, very important. That's where we build that in the complete ecosystem. We said that, okay, the person has to have all 5 well-being, not only one. So we came out with that platform called mHealth, and we said that let's work on all 5 factors onto this. Now, how do we work on those 5 factors? And that was basically a biggest challenge, because in the corporate sector, what we have understood, and in last 21 years of career of mine also, in spite of having them on the leadership position, we always take one size fits for all, right? If you are organizing something for the organization, we are organizing, okay, we'll have aerobics classes, say morning 7 to 9 or 7 to 8, sorry, for that matter, or maybe 6 to 7 in the evening, or maybe weekends, right? Everybody doesn't need aerobics. We say that, okay, 10,000 steps every day. But does everybody require 10,000 steps to walk every day? No, right? Probably some other marathon runner, they might be running 15 kilometers a day, right? So for them, 10,000 steps is nothing. But the people who are doing maybe 3,000 or 5,000 steps, for them, 10,000 is something basically which they look at achieving little higher milestones. So that is, I think, what we have to look at, and that's where we said that it is not one size fit for all, right? Mental wellness, people don't want to talk about it, right? Emotional well-being. There's a big difference between emotional well-being and mental wellness. Both are very, very different, because emotional well-being is that you are driving that in a whole 24 hours of time. You are having you go through various emotions. Sometimes you're happy, or sometimes you're sad, sometimes you're wanting to talk to somebody, right? So that's something basically which you go through. But mental well-being is something basically wherein you're feeling depressed, wherein you're feeling you want some consultation, you want some guidance or something. So having looked at entire this thing, we said that there is a platform, there is a service required by the corporate, wherein that we should be able to give them a customized solution for employees rather than a one size fit for all. That's where we built that mHealth as a wellness platform, wherein we provide today a complete solution independent of services, right? We are not saying that, okay, you take this for the entire all employees. You can pick up the program depending on the condition base. So it's a kind of a objective based program. You define those programs basically, okay, we do HRA, health risk assessment, and then basis on that you identify that, okay, these employees or these number of people require this kind of a thing, and this are require physical fitness, these requires a muscle strength, this requires maybe a weight loss, this requires maybe a lifestyle conditions improvement. So basis on that you define those programs and give it to that. That could be 1 employee, that could be 10 employees or 100 employees. That is where we brought that a change in primarily a corporate sector, and built the team and did the entire thing. So the effect of that is that today every corporate is looking at solutions, and we are also learning with the corporates, because there is a new ideas, new things which are coming from the corporates, and there is a lot of and I must say HR fraternity which we deal with are very, very creative, very, very enthused to do something for their employees, and empathy has really taken over in last 1 year for because of this COVID, and everybody is willing to support each other and looking at that as a big system or a support system basically from that perspective, right? So that is something basically which we have been able to bring to the community, and it's really, really good to see that we are today helping people, and we call it as a happiness via mHealth. That's our tagline. So we always work with the corporates and then work on those things, and that's the journey which has been. And I'm personally very happy because this is something basically when you come from a corporate background, you understand the employee pressure, you understand how cycle is all about. One thing I would like to share, Yashwant, another thing is basically one which is my learning. HR does a lot of activities in terms of for the employee engagement, employee wellness, right? But the biggest challenge is, and that's what we found in the entire this thing, is engagement is a challenge. I don't drive, people doesn't turn up. People have maybe 20% or 30% engagement level. That's something basically which always comes up. Now in this, what is the reason for that? The reason is that we would like to fit one size for everybody. I don't need mental wellness consultation. Probably somebody else needs it, right? You have to identify certain things that, okay, I need these 10 people are requiring maybe a diet consultation for their lifestyle disorder, right? These 5 people require a diabetes reversal. They might be very jumping onto this because that's something basically which is in their interest. Similarly, if you run some challenge, whether you, as you said, that stepathon challenge, we have to also differentiate between that stepathon challenge also. You have to have define that, okay, these are the marathon runners. You have to have a different challenge than the people who are just beginners. So you have to take it the level up. Otherwise, your leaderboard or everything will be on the top. There will be 5 people or 10 people that will be there on this. I think important for us to understand what is required and then gradually implementing the programs for them, that definitely helps onto it. And that's where we bring the entire ecosystem. And I really feel happy that we are able to help bring happiness to the people mind. So this is all about mHealth, and we have started a small initiative called Society Connect, which is again wherein that we are reaching out to the societies. We are going to RWAs and all, wherein we run health and happiness programs. Because in this COVID period, what has happened is a lot of people either don't want to come out or don't want to speak to others, or something of that has started happening. So we went to one society. Actually, we did just for the to one society and did that health and happiness carnival, and wherein that we bring hospitals along when they do the general checkups, dental, eye care, as well as health and happiness activity, which you call it as maybe tug of war, Zumba, maybe some gamification onto this, various other activities which we do, musical chair and other thing, and bring happiness in the society. And in last 1 month, we did almost 17 odd camps into various societies. So that is something basically which we are bringing health and happiness in the community. And we call it as a Society Connect program. That's has been also very happy about that. This is something basically which is we are able to bring happiness in the community as well. This is all what we do.
Yeah, thank you so much, Rajesh. I think you brought several points, and also the aspect about mHealth, how it is driving the entire well-being for the organization at large, and also you shared about that how different facets of the well-being are important, and your organization is driving those even at various societies, which is a very interesting I think take on that as well. Now since this is more about the conversation, this entire session, right? So I take your permission to maybe ask certain a few questions to you in certain areas which I believe that are very important. Now, when we talk about the the entire concept of the well-being, right? Obviously, the well-being in its several forms are very important. But what is more important is about the holistic well-being, right? How do we, channelize that that balance between the emotional and the mental health, and also between the physical and the spiritual health, right? So that people are actually practicing the mindfulness, right? And getting in real sense happy about their life, healthy, having healthy practices, and making a difference to your to their organizations, right? So can you illustrate certain maybe interventions which you have gone through in your experience, how organizations like mHealth actually can help the organizations to improve upon the physical health of the employees? What are the key interventions which you have designed and which can really make a difference if adopted by the organizations?
Sure, Yashwant. So I think that in this entire well-being, if you see, there are 5 or 6 major critical aspects here. One is physical well-being, which is taking care of your physical health. Then you have a mental well-being. Mental well-being has 2 parts basically. One is emotional well-being, and then second is mental health, which is there. And the third is spiritual. The fourth is social connect, right? So that's something basically which is important. And the fifth is financial well-being, right? So these are the 4 or 5 or 6 basically the major thing if you talk about the overall well-being. Now, if you see when do we look at the physical well-being? We always look at physical well-being when we have certain condition, right? Maybe doctor has advised us, or maybe until we are taking care of this regularly. Likewise, some people have building a habit of this. It is all about programming yourself. How do you program yourself, right? As a human being, we always have, and this is the right time to have this session also, because we all are setting up our own targets. We are all setting up our own financial budgets, and we are also setting up our health targets as well as the other things, right? This probably is the best time to set your health goal target also. And we all do that also. It is not that most of the people must be having a target of that in first 3 months I'll be reducing 5 kg weight or 3 kg weight or 10 kg weight or whatever that. But 90% of, maybe 95% of us will be feeling in the first year itself, first month itself. Basically, by the end of January, we always say that ye to nikal gaya, now we have to set the next target and all. But I think, having said this, physical health is very, very important, right? As we always and everybody has to make certain habit into it. We must make sure that whatever we do, and this should be kind of programmed in our system, that okay, if you have to do this thing, it's a kind of a ritual. If you are able to do that, that's something basically which brings more positivity. And I would request everybody, in case some of them are not doing it, make one habit. It is not about only walking. Maybe you can do yoga, maybe you can do dance fitness, or anything basically wherein you feel that you feel happy about it. And that's something basically which is kind of a not making you a kind of a boredom into certain thing. Make one habit. That is something basically which will take a long thing. Make maybe 30 minutes walk, maybe doing 45 minutes yoga, maybe doing dance fitness, maybe Zumba, or maybe aerobics, or maybe aerobics or something of other thing in that case. But don't wait for this to come when we have certain issue, right? Because everything, whatever we do in our making that physical health, it is also connected to the mental health, right? If you do a walk, I can challenge, and this is something basically I have experienced personally. If you do a walk for 30 to 45 minutes every day, your mind gets fresh. You get a lot of new ideas into when you walk and do certain things, right? This is something basically which is also kind of programmed in your system, and you do it on a daily basis. So gradually improve it. Don't do it in a like that, okay, in a day itself, I would like to do maybe 10,000 steps or 20,000 steps. It is something basically which you do, start with maybe 3,000, 4,000, 5,000 steps, and then move towards gradually moving towards it. But must measure that. It is very, very important. And generally, we all are very happy about that. Okay, I walk 2 kilometers every day. But when you don't measure all these things, then, and this is something basically, Yashwant, we had in this experience. And we did this stepathon challenge in one of the society. And you won't believe that we had a round of 3 kilometers. And we said that, okay, everybody has to walk 3 kilometers. And that was in their society itself. There were people who were not even able to walk 3 kilometers. And they were saying that we were walking every day. Because generally, what is their mind is that, okay, yaar, maine aadha ghanta walk kar liya, ya 15 minute walk kar liya, that's enough. I have covered maybe. Then you actually realize that, okay, I'm not even to walk even 3 kilometers. So it is not even 3 kilometers. 3 kilometers is something basically which might get in 30 minutes or 45 minutes, depending on how is your speed. So it is important to measure what you do. And if you start measuring, it start improving. And physical health is all about that. So if you are able to look at that, you're counting 10,000 steps or 5,000 steps, maybe 6,000 next week or next month, depending on how do you want to go about it. That's something basically which you do. Because as I said, everything is connected. And second thing is about the mental wellness, or which you call it the emotional health. As I said, that the most important is that we all go through emotions every day, every minute. Thousands of emotions. Sometimes we are happy, sometimes we are sad, sometimes we are discussing about our children, sometimes we are discussing about our colleagues. So there are a lot of emotions basically which we go through. So it is important that you should share those things with your friends, family, discuss of not in a maybe in a casual, very casual way. That's something basically we should start doing it. You will not have a problem of the second one basically, which is the mental health, because sharing is caring. So it is important that, okay, if you start sharing this thing, maybe the other person is not willing to listen, but at least you have said it. Right? So you are not carrying that load onto yourself. I think that is something basically which brings a lot more positivity into you. Physical and mental health, both these things are interrelated. अगर आप अच्छे हैं, अगर आप खुश हैं, अगर आपका शरीर ठीक है, you will be mentally, you will be very happy. Because the minute you have certain things, anything, maybe we have now more than 10 crore people having diabetes, right? The minute you come to know that I have a diabetes, then you see that where does it entire this thing goes, right? And then you are not able to even tell people that, okay, I have a diabetes, I'm working on to recovering this thing. If you're not connecting with the people, social connects are less, then you're not able to share those things, and then you get into depression and other things. So spirituality is very another part of it. That's very critical. So everything is interconnected. So one has to start from somewhere, connect the dots, make sure that you should work on all these 5 parameters, and then that is something basically which will bring more happiness. This will bring more. I'll say that you will be physically strong, you will be mentally strong. Spirituality wise, you'll have a lot of this thing, and there's a lot we can do to make sure that we remain happy, and if we are happy, it can make people happy. So
absolutely. Thanks so much for bringing that up, Rajeshji. Definitely, physical health is very important, and also the other aspects of well-being, like the emotional health, right? The mental health, spiritual health, social well-being, and also you mentioned about the this financial well-being, right? Very important ones. Now let me just share with you certain data which we have recently gone through, right? We all know that the entire globe is going through a black swan event of COVID-19, right? And the people are already are very anxious about the uprise of the Omicron, the variant, right? Highly mutant variant as well. Now, if you look at the current data, almost 28 crore people globally have got infected officially with the COVID-19 virus, and more than 54 lakh people have actually lost their lives, right? As far as India is concerned, it's close to almost 3.47 crore people getting infected, and almost 4.79 lakh people have lost their lives, right? Now, this is the kind of health crisis, the public health crisis which is there, right? And we cannot forget the fact that it also has the implications on the economies at large, right? People are facing the wage losses. There are a number of unemployments happening, right? Now that actually creates a lot of anxiety, stress among people, right? And in fact, as per the latest global reports on the emotions of the mood of the world, right? 2020 is almost observed as the year wherein the stress levels was almost at the highest levels in the past 15 years, right? Now, given this context, what do you think the organization must do for their people, right? I'm not limiting to just employees, because the people in the organization actually goes much beyond employees, right? That includes our vendors, that includes our customers, that includes our suppliers, that also includes our investors, right? And as well as our major workmen, or for the matter the contract labor, right, which also happens to be a huge number for any organization for the matter. So what, according to your experience, could be some of the interventions which organization can take care of the overall people well-being, especially in the context of the COVID. Thank you.
Yashwant, I think this is a very, very good question. So if I may say that in a single one liner, that there are few things which are beyond your control, right? There are few things basically which the human doesn't have much or can't do. He can only protect himself by maybe following certain protocols, and I think that is something which every one of us must do. Right? India being the largest or second largest population here, the crisis for our countries would have been much bigger, or can be much bigger, if we don't follow certain protocols or certain things basically which are being guidelined. Having said this, I think as an organization, right, there is a lot which has happened. A lot of NC has come up forward and did various things, and we all have seen in last year and a half, from building hospital, or creating that the COVID rooms, or maybe getting the vaccination done for their employees, setting up this entire COVID centers, right? So there is a lot which has happened, and the corporate sector has really done, and for all these, for their employees. But there are a few things, as I said, which are beyond the control. And I think most important thing, individually wise, if I may say, one has to, so emotionally, we have to keep the self-confidence, right, onto ourselves. That is a must. The world is changing because of this COVID, and we are doing this call on Zoom right now. And I don't think if we could have maybe a year and a half back, we could have this call maybe on a physical conferences, which we all did in last many years, right? So we have to reprogram ourselves. We have to change ourselves. We have to see that where the world is moving, how the world is moving, what do the skill I need to adopt that, right? So work from home, whether meeting on Zooms, meeting on virtually, getting the maybe order delivered at home, grocery delivering at home, everything is changing, right? So you have to figure out what is that in your industry, what is that in your organization, where the skill set is moving. And similarly, organization also are spending huge amount of money, or maybe training their employees to reprogram their skill set, because the next skill set is very different. And COVID is definitely only accelerating some of these steps. But if you see about artificial intelligence, if you see about machine learning and other things, change has already started happening maybe a few years back. Only thing is that we were holding it up. Now things have really moved fast, and then things are going to change. And similarly, it applies to everybody, whether you talk about the top management, middle management, maybe the lower people. Everybody has to go through that change, and this is only a speed which has kind of maybe happened, which might have taken maybe 3 to 5 years more, but this has now happened because of this COVID. Having said this, I think organization wise, empathy is something basically which is we have seen and earlier, and that is going to be a more. But Omicron is maybe the next version of the coronavirus. We may have another clone maybe, or some other clone which might be coming in. So we have to prepare ourselves for this thing. And most important thing is that we have to keep our emotional strength with us. We have to have our self-confidence. It is not for me alone, right? It is not for 1% or 2% or 100% for this. It is for everybody. And until unless you change yourself, and you don't have a confidence onto you that okay, then that's surely, because आप जिस चीज को बड़ा करके देखते हो, जिस चीज अगर प्रॉब्लम को बड़ा करके देखोगे, तो then problem is always, you will always problem will always be looking much bigger than solution. Every problem has a solution. Every change which is happening today, which could have happened maybe 5 years later, that is happening today. I think it might be good, but the way it is happening is definitely not good. But we have to also speed up onto certain things. So emotional strength, emotional is very, very important. One has to have, and we all have seen this last year and a half. We all have seen that what has gone through, everybody has gone through. We have lost the friends, we have lost the family members in last second wave. We all are afraid of this. What is the third wave is going to bring in, right? So we all should be careful. But these things are beyond my control. So it is better that I should stop thinking about that. I should follow the guidelines. I should follow the protocols. Rest is the destiny. Yeah, I can't control that. So I can do my job. If I start doing my job and I'm focusing on what I have to achieve, I have to focus on that, what I am here for. I think this time will also pass. That's what I think, which is important. But yes, looking at this, either you see as a threat or you see as an opportunity. So in this, people have done, apart from health, people have done a lot more things into whether building up businesses, whether coming up with a new business model. There's a lot which has happened in last. We have seen multi unicorns basically which has been built in last year, right? So that has also happened. Either you look at the positive side of it, or you look at that, okay, this Omicron is going to what, or what this is going to bring. So that's all to us. It's all in our mind. If we keep positivity, and definitely it'll bring good for all of us. And I would suggest everybody to remain positive, remain happy, have a self-confidence, do something basically which you like. Take this as an opportunity and do what you could have probably have not done it in last few years. I did it. I wanted to become an entrepreneur for long time, and I found this as the best opportunity, best time to do something. And so I'm here in front of you, pursuing my long-term, long pending issue, basically, which I thought that is probably the best time to do entrepreneurship. I think that is, one has to and look forward to this.
Oh, absolutely. Thank you so much for those, for sharing those several insights. And you rightly mentioned that, we can always look at every situation from the threat and opportunity perspective, right? And definitely, despite all the challenges, despite all the problems, which COVID has brought across the globe, it has also, given a very different kind of a dimension about the learnings, about looking at things, right? About human resilience, about people, going beyond their, a normal domain of things, to deliver, something really innovative, something really, which can create a huge impact going forward. Now, this, public health obviously is a very important subject, and the holistic well-being is very critical for any organization, right? For its overall sustenance, right? From the people continuity perspective and also from the business continuity perspective. Let me just, take you to the overall, sustainable development goals, right? Wherein good health and well-being is one of the major goal, going forward out of almost several, goals which have been enlisted by the UN, right? As one of the very important areas wherein not just the organization, but societies have to work together. Communities have to energize their actions on this subject, right? Because unless until we have people who are healthy, who are happy, right? We cannot have a productive workforce. And unless until we have a productive workforce, we cannot talk about the efficiency, right? Which is so very critical for any organization to have that sustainable competitive edge. Any thoughts on this from your side?
So, Yashwant, I think you're absolutely right. So we were earlier, as an employee, we were looking at, okay, retention is something basically which always any organization will look at, right? And for that retention, I think the biggest thing was money that could have been, or second was basically that work environment. And when we have heard for a long period that, okay, people don't leave companies, but they leave their managers. So that's something basically the environment and has been important. But I think COVID has brought that biggest change. People are not now looking at more from that salary or increments is definitely one aspect of it, but how the organization is taking care of, not for himself, but also for family. That is something basically, and not for myself, for overall organization. And sustainability, as you said, is very, very important, because at the end, and let me just share with you one example. Pre-COVID, right? What was the benefit which most of the organizations were giving? They were giving the benefit of insurance, getting the insurance done for this. Rest is done, right? So I have got the insurance of maybe 10 lakh, 20 lakh, 50 lakh rupees, which is medical health insurance, or maybe you got the term covered, maybe for 50 lakh or maybe crore or something of that kind, maybe 20 lakh, or depending on that what kind of workforce is it. That's end of it. And in this last year and a half, we have heard this well-being or wellness a lot. Earlier, what was happening on the wellness piece? Wellness piece was only, okay, let's do a session for the employees, because there are a few WHO days that let's do that, maybe a talk on cancer, let's do talk on maybe diabetes, let's do talk on PCOD, let's do talk on certain health conditions. That's the end of it. Or at best, what you can do is that, okay, let's get the health checkup done in the organization. You bring some hospital and do that. But in last year and a half, there's a 360-degree change which has happened. Now people are more talking about mental wellness. We were never talking about the mental wellness, right? This mental wellness word has actually, I'll say 100x, maybe 1000x. It has been talked about now pre-COVID. We never talked about that, okay, we have to take care of immunity of our employees, right? We have to get, and we are getting the vaccination done for not for themselves, for their family also, right? We are not engaging employees now and also engaging their families into various activities. So that is something basically which has brought a lot more change, and we will see this more happening in the organization. What is most important is that because this has happened in a kind of speed, and it has gone unplanned also, kind of, okay, abhi kuch nahi mil raha, so let's do this activity, let's do that activity, because a lot of unorganized, I'll say, not in a very formal way or not in a very particular way, this has happened. And because something was to done, okay, abhi kya hai, this is a problem which we are seeing in the employees, that because our employees are very, very stressed, let's do a mental wellness session. Now Omicron is coming in, so let's do a session on, let's talk, call somebody and do a Omicron hai kya, how can you get this recovered, right? How can you save yourself? This has gone into that shape. Now what is going to happen in is as I see this, there are going to be more purpose-led programs. There will be a lot which is going to happen, that, okay, I have, say, 1000 employees. I would like to do certain things for each and every section of the employees. And I will be understanding more from that perspective that, okay, what is that is required by a set of people, or maybe 20% of the people, 30% of the people, rather than doing a one size for all. So these are going to be more purpose-led. This I have to build the organization that, okay, and a small thing I would like to share it with you, that an organization have a health, likewise you have a financial score, you have a health score also in the organization. You figure out that, okay, now how many people of my organization having diabetes? How many people are going through a lipid issue? How many people have got the vaccination done, right? How many people have not got the vaccination done? So, these all data, these are all basically depending on each and every section of the employees, that, okay, for this particular function, these many employees are having diabetes. This could lead to a problem of maybe having severe issue. And definitely this is also going to be a factor wherein that the insurance bill is going to be higher. So this will start happening that, okay, let's work on them. Let's and make them healthy. Apart from the productivity, they will also be able to save costs. So that is what you will see that it's happening now, because at the end of the day, organization at one side, they want their employee to be happy, productive, and second way, they would also like to save some cost or improve productivity, which can help in the bottom line of this. This is going to be a big change you'll see in 2022, when people or the organization are going to be doing more purpose-led program than the general things which is happening. So I think this change is definitely going to come in.
Absolutely, absolutely. Thank you so much for bringing that up. And I think you also talked about the social well-being and the financial well-being, right? I'll add another dimension to it, which is about the digital well-being, right? In the current scheme of things, and the way economies are shaping up, globally, right? Digital transformation is going to be one of the major contributors for completely transforming your business, the way you work, and the way you are, actually preparing yourself for the future, right? And I think from that perspective, we as organizations also have to equally focus upon the digital well-being of employees, right? People who are not having those skill sets, right, have to be given those skill sets. They have to be, trained and given those exposure and the opportunities so that they can, bring in that transformation. And obviously, last but not least, digital transformation is not about the technology, right? So it is about the mindset, ultimately, which really makes a difference. So I think, this is one thing, which can also be adopted by various organizations, having that mindset for the holistic well-being of their people at large. That's how, you will create those wow factor organizations, right? Which can really, adapt to different situations. So whether COVID or not, you will be able to survive, not just survive, but in fact, I would say, you will be able to thrive in the new business scenario, right? Now, coming to our, the conversation, I would like to bring in a different aspects of, the performance evaluation, right? You are aware, sir, that in various organizations we have performance management system, right? Now, if holistic well-being is so very important, right? Do you think that the time has come when we need to have this responsibility or this accountability or this as a KRA of the board of directors of the organizations, and also percolating it down below to the various teams as a part of their KRAs and KPIs for the people they are handling, right? Is it possible?
I think more than board of directors or more than the senior management, it is important that we must make that KRA for the employees, because organization can lead the program, organization can spend money onto it. At the end of the day, employee has to take benefit, employee has to have, maybe it has to be both way. If you are able to make both accountable for this, when the organization are spending but employees are not able to use it because of whatever reason, right? So that's something, basically the accountability also should come to the employees. Wherein that, so in the factories, you have in the wages section, basically, wherein that you have something called, if you have 500 plus drivers or 500 plus staff or factory workers, basically you have to have a resident doctor, which is there, right? Now, most important is that if people are not taking benefit of it, if people are not interested in where it is going wrong. So this has to be in a both, I'll say, accountability and responsibility for both. And definitely it has to be a KRA and KPI. Health should be one of the KRA KPI for employees as well as for the organization. Because at the end of the day, you can build healthy organization with the healthy employees. If people are always talking about that the health issues, maybe stress, maybe mental wellness, maybe physical wellness, maybe we have not touched upon the spiritual well-being. That's something basically which is also very, very important factor. You have to figure out some time for yourself. You have to figure out some thing for yourself wherein that you are able to actually improve a lot more productivity. So that is, if we make the KRA or KPI for both employer as well as employee, I think that is going to be a big change, and that's where you will see that the productivity. And it has to be driven through the organization only, because at the end of the day, if you make that people accountable, people will follow that.
Absolutely. Thank you for sharing that. And you rightly mentioned that, the responsibility has to be with both, not just, with the organization as well as with the individuals, because ultimately it is the mutual, benefit which is there for the organization and individual. So with this now, thank you so much for bringing so many insights on the subject. We have, our participants for this session who have also ask certain questions. I would now, like to take certain questions, which are there in the chat box as of now. Let me go to the question which has been asked by Sunil Agrol, sir. He's asking that, how does one collaborate with mHealth for community awareness programs?
So, sir, we have on our website, definitely, which we have given it there, but you can connect with me, or I'll be more than happy to have this in our Society Connect programs. We call it as Health and Happiness by mHealth, wherein that we bring, our focus is to bring happiness. We bring health partners, maybe Medanta, Max, Apollo, basically whoever is the health partner into that, and do health checkups and basic things at the society. Along with that, fitness sessions and gamification, games and other things for the all age group, kids, elders, females, males, basically for all these things. And we'll be happy to conduct those sessions into in your society. That's we are really enjoying this. And these sessions, we do it on Saturdays and Sundays. So we'll be more than happy to conduct this. I'll ask Yashwant to give my coordinates to you, and we'll be happy to organize this.
Sure, definitely. We will provide that as well. And also now, the second, then there's another question, which has been asked by Ravi Prakash Oja, sir. He's asking how to establish a connect with mHealth for a happiness program in a housing society.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing basically which we have seen in this happiness program is if we find an engagement from, so in the society, what we have seen, you have a team, RWA team, basically we call it as a Resident Welfare Association. If they really take an interest and do certain things and come out and bring people together, that is something basically which brings more, I'll say, that is something basically which we are able to conduct this in the session, and that goes really well. Where you find that people from the president or the secretaries are not very keen on or not getting involved, they say that, okay, we are happy to conduct this, but this is something basically they don't get involved. Then we see a challenge in the society. So if you are willing to do in this your society, they said that we'll be more than happy to conduct this. We are already booked for almost the entire January. This COVID has little kind of given a little backseat, but we conducted this session yesterday also, this happiness program, which was in Noida. That was really basically that all age group people have enjoyed and joined the session.
Wonderful. Thank you so much.
Yeah, you can share my number and I'll be happy to.
Sure. Thank you for those sharing. Let me now request, Dr. GP Rao, sir, who is also here. I think he's also, looking forward to ask a question. Over to you, sir.
It's a wonderful presentation. A lot of hope, a lot of preparation to create a society of happiness. So congratulations to you. My question as well as a suggestion, we must go to the schools and colleges. That is where the culture gets built. So any thoughts on that?
We will go to schools and colleges as well as we are going to society, but unfortunately schools has been closed and it has been off and on for this. So that's the reason we are not going to schools as of now. Yes, we have plans to go to schools. We also have plan to go to senior citizen. There are some communities basically for the senior citizens. We are also planning to go there. Probably let the COVID settle down and let schools start opening up. We'll definitely do this. That's in our. We
Sure.
are kind of organization wherein that focus is happiness.
Yeah. Well, wonderful, wonderful. Thank you so much.
Great. Thank you, sir.
Right. Thank you so much, sir. So I think with this, if you have any further questions, anybody would like to ask a question, can ask that. We have certain participants out here. Yeah, so I think we've had a very good deliberations on the subject, and you brought several aspects of the holistic well-being. So with this, we come to the end of the session. May I now request, since I think Joshi sir, I think just got logged out probably because of technical glitch. I think the Dr. GP Rao sir is here. Sir, with your kind permission, we would like to request you to propose a vote of thanks to our esteemed speaker, Rajesh Munjal sahab.
Sure. On behalf of the entire NIPM community, those who joined and had to leave because of this the New Year Eve coming. So there are people would be benefited from this talk of Mr. Munjal. It's a very interesting conversation, and he was so candid, he was so simple, so lucid, and he was very inspiring. I think today's recording, if it's possible, Yashwant, we should share with a larger collective to the benefit of people. So I, on behalf of NIPM, congratulate and compliment and express our gratitude to Mr. Munjal for his time and sharing his vision, thoughts, the interventions he's doing, and his faith, and he's also his promise of support to all of us. I congratulate Mukesh Jain sir. So he always comes out with innovative ideas. He always inspires people. And in fact, you are today's this topic is befitting to his personality, bringing wellness, bringing happiness all around. And Yashwant, our young new leader, he's very passionate, and he makes a lot of preparation to make things very professional, very effective, and he also very time conscious. So it's always value for money. Yashwant always provides, and he's turning out to be a great moderator. Congratulations, Yashwant. Thank you, audience, and all of you for your continuous support, and Mr. Alok Agarwal for your continuous support for making our digital platform always very effective and very assuring. So congratulations to all of you. Thank you, everybody. So have a great new year, and we are sure 2022 is going to be better than the current year. So all of us, thank you so much. Wish you a happy new year. Really, thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. GP Rao sir, for your kind vote of thanks to the gathering, and thank you, Rajesh Munjal sir, for bringing those very practical insights and how this entire ecosystem is getting developed, and how it is important for organizations to focus on this holistic well-being. I would like to also thank Mukesh Jain sahab for his overall leadership and always encouraging to come up with new variety of events focusing on subjects which are really relevant and important for various organizations and individuals. Thank you so much, everyone. I think we've had several people who had joined during the conversation. Many of senior leaders from the industry. I think Dr. S.P. Mitra, who is the National Vice President of NIPM, he had also joined for a brief time. Sunil Abrol sir, Dr. Radha Sharma madam, and many of the others, including Ravi Oja sahab. So thank you so much once again, and Alok, thank you so much for your kind support. We wish everyone, on behalf of the NIPM Delhi NCR chapter, a great times ahead. and a very healthy and happy 2022 going forward. Thank you so much. Over to Mukesh to answer for the final remarks. Thank you.
Thank you, Yashwant, for a wonderful program. Thank you, Munjal Saab, Dr. Rao, all my colleagues and friends here who have, participated in this wonderful session. Thank you, Yashwant. You are always bringing a lot of new things to NIPM Delhi NCR chapter and ISTD both. Thank you so much. And thank you, Alokji, for always supporting the cause. Thank you very much and good night. Namaskar.
Thank you.
Namaskar. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Yashwant. Thank you.
राजेश जी का कनेक्शन मिल जाएगा ना यशवंत?
Absolutely.
चैट पे